Well, this is serious. This is serious. This is March the 29th, 2015. And I made a video about Jade Helm. And it got 220 something views. And then I set it to private, for select friends. Is Jade Helm 15 real? Is this real? These training exercises are to be ran from July until August or September of 2015. These training exercises, which are called under the code name Jade Helm 15, I believe that Jade Helm 15, the number 15, I think means 15 states. I think that's the code for 15 states. Three of them I know: Texas, Utah, and California, Southern California. Now, those three, which it will also include more than likely Kentucky, Tennessee, Idaho, parts of Washington, close to Seattle, and probably a few others. But as far as most of these states, you'll notice are white. Okay, they're white states. Idaho, they'll probably throw in there. Tennessee, for sure. Pennsylvania, maybe. My state, Pennsylvania. Um, Doing a massive campaign like this, calling it a training exercise, in my opinion, is pretty over the top obvious. You can't say you're going to run a training exercise, a training exercise over massive amounts of states, um, and they're white. They're white states. Usually, what this means is that these states probably had the right to say, we don't want you training in our states, and they've been muscled around by the federal government and pushed around by the U.S. government, and all of this is happening under Barack Obama. Okay, and they've allowed the entire thing to explode into this big fiasco on the internet. If you type in Jade Helm, you'll see tons of videos, usually by white people, that are concerned about this concept of Jade Helm uh, this summer, within the next couple of months. It wasn't a secret operation. They never made it anything classified. They've denied that they're doing anything other than just doing routine training exercises, but they're doing this over a massive amount of states, over 10. Um, I think that in itself speaks volume as far as the intentions behind Operation Jade Helm 15. Um, California, I think, because of the drug cartels, the Mexican drug cartels, they can't control them. And so, in that way, I could kind of see where they maybe would want to do something and say, we have to deal with this. Eric Holder, the Attorney General to Barack Obama, uh, was giving the Mexican drug cartels weapons, including automatic weapons, ARs, you name it, the whole deal. Probably whatever else you can think of that they were given. And so it's no different than ISIS that they built up in California, Southern California. 60% or 65% of California is non-white, meaning Mexican or Latino or black. The other 35 or 37% is white in California, and that's just in that state. So they're not really interested in just that one state. I think that state would go pretty quickly. I don't think that the cartels will get fucked up very quickly by the drones and the tanks and the different things that the U.S. military industrial complex offers. They will go down very quickly. But the government here is not going to allow them to have their own country within California, Utah, and Texas. Utah, because of the Mormons, these white Mormons. They're brothers to me. They're Christian, as far as I'm concerned. If you're Mormon, you're a brother to me if you believe in Christ and Yeshua. You're a Christian brother to me. I don't necessarily believe in Joseph Smith. That's not a mandate as far as what my Bible says. I believe in Christ. That's my king, and that's what he believes in. So a Mormon to me is a brother. Even a Jehovah's Witness, I would say, is a brother. You don't have to believe in hell. But we're talking about the Utah, and that is a target. Okay? That is one of these listed hostile states by this program, Operation Jade Helm 15. Utah, the entire state. Okay? The other state listed as hostile is Texas. Texas, as we all know, has been diversified. They've been diversified with lots of Mexicans and Latinos, but it isn't the Mexicans and Latinos that the government is concerned with when they're doing their training exercise. They're concerned with the whites in Texas, the whites that are sick of it all. Okay, the ones that just go, we just want a normal life, we just want to live. Why are we dealing with this nutty shit? You know, and so these people have guns. They're prepared. They understand the whole thing is falling apart. They know it's crazy. And so Operation Jade Helm is focusing predominantly on white states. Alex Jones himself, I believe, lives in Texas or operates InfoWars out of Texas. Texas is a target. It says right there in their report. It's a hostile state. So why would they list it as a hostile state if it's just a training exercise? I mean, if it's a training exercise, you don't list it as a hostile state. Hostile means that's enemy. That's enemy. You are enemy. You know, you are a hostile enemy. This is United States we're talking about, not Iraq, not Iran, not Afghanistan, not Libya, not Syria. Okay? We're talking about American people here. Okay? And so the U.S. government, the federal government, is declaring these states as hostile on their little report for their training exercises. So if they go down there and they start doing training exercises in these quote-unquote hostile states, what do you want to bet that the people that brief these military personnel before they go out there are told, this is a hostile environment. We are on enemy territory. These are hostile people. Anybody within the military would know what I'm talking about. Joe Biggs, whom I have respect for, Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs, comes out on InfoWars and he says, hey, I got a Purple Heart. I'm a staff sergeant. I'm telling you, this is what's going on. Okay? There's an explosion of information on the internet telling you this is what's going on. What do you think is going to happen this summer? If they go in there, gung-ho, shooting around their guns with a public that's already freaked out, not trusting the government, with good reason not to trust the government. CNN did a poll. How many people trust the government? And it was like less than 40%. Maybe it was 60% trusted the government. The other 40% didn't. So, I mean, it's like, oh, do they lie? I don't even know why people listen to the mainstream media anymore. I mean, they've been caught lying so many times. How do you listen to someone that lies to you all the time? I mean, eventually you go, okay, every word out of your mouth is a lie, so therefore, why do I need to listen to you? And you don't. You wouldn't want to. But my point is that this summer, I think you need to prepare yourself for Operation Jade Helm. Maybe it is a training exercise, but the implications are very clear. Out of this, training exercise could potentially spark a Red Dawn martial law type scenario where people are just already freaked out. It's just bad diplomacy. It's bad diplomacy. Whoever came up with this, I mean, it's backfiring now because everybody on the internet is talking about it. What they would do before June or July, before they start their little training exercise, is that they will cut the internet off. And then they would just go into Texas and start killing everybody that doesn't play ball with them. It'll be a gun grab first, okay? And then after they get the guns, because they're not going to be equipped to do the next part, they get the guns first, and then that's the first part of the program. And then the next part would be a roundup, it would be a roundup. And then they would just say, well, you got to go into this area. They won't call it a detention area. They'll call it something else. And they'll go, well, we need to give you a vaccination shot because there's an outbreak in Texas of, I don't know what it was in Texas, whatever that outbreak is, SARS or Ebola or something. We'll give you a vaccination for Ebola. You know, we're wellness friends. We're gonna help you, and it'll be something that'll kill you. And they'll go in this building over here, you know, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, and they'll never come out. They'll never come out. No. So there's this Ebola threat that they did in Texas is one thing, and now they're saying, you know, they open the borders up wide. Okay, they open the borders up wide. They don't have nobody to blame. If they want to blame and say Mexicans are spreading Ebola or Kenyans or something, you know, it won't be like, it'll be humane. It won't just be you getting your head cut off. It could be though. You could be getting shot and killed. I don't know how it's going to go down, but they'll give you a shot, you know, or something, and that'll be the end of you. You know, these people, these military personnel do not have the right to be patrolling on the streets of the United States of America. These are not global armies. Okay, we have our own nation. It's called the United States of America. It's our nation. And if our army does not stand, if our U.S. military does not stand for our country, then they're not our military, they're not our army, and they are not here to protect us. And therefore, we do not have to listen to the Army or the Navy or the Marines or the Air Force or whatever. It would be an Air Force campaign first, I would think, once they start attacking. Because we saw that in Afghanistan and Libya and Iraq. We saw the first is an air campaign, and then second is a military campaign with the army. But you don't have to respect somebody that doesn't respect you. They forced this multicultural shit down your fucking throat. They pushed it. It was Jews that did it, and sellout whites. Okay, that's what it was. And they're rich beyond belief, and they hate it when you stand up. Okay? They hate it when you stand up. If you don't like me standing up, suck my motherfucking white Christian dick. Okay? Get the fuck out of my country, you third party, foreign motherfucking element. The fuck out of my country, and take whatever sellout, Shabbat goy, military bitch wants to follow you. I'm not a fan of I'm not really a big fan of the military. Okay, I'm not really. I love the U.S. military, but I'm not a fan of UN-sanctioned military full of Mexicans and Latinos and Asians and Russians. Okay, I'm not. So, you know, call that what you want. But as far as Operation Jade Helm, we need to be aware that life can change for all of us very soon within the next 3 months. This may turn into a mayhem situation, and then you could have China or Russia come in while we're all at each other's throats here, because we're already decapitated in that sense. We're already compensated because we're fighting each other. So, I mean, that's the Jewish program, and the Jews would be working with the Russians, and the Jews will be working with the American intelligence agencies, the NSA and the CIA and everybody else, and saying, okay, we'll get them all at each other's throats, and then we'll bring in Russia and China, and it'll be easy to mop up. That's what you got. In my opinion, that's what you got. You know. So, but yeah, when I see Joe Biggs come out and he's got the gray hair, he's not even trying to shave or nothing, and he's talking about this stuff, you know, he comes out, I don't even give a shit, you know. That shows me he ain't trying to fucking be pretty for nobody. Okay? That's the same as me. I'm not trying to be pretty for any of you. Okay? I'm not trying to be pretty. If somebody likes me, you like me. You don't like me, you don't like me. Who gives a shit? I told you the truth. I told you the truth. Now, Alex Jones tells the truth as best he can. He mixes a lot of bullshit in there, of course. But on this situation with Jade Helm, he broke the story. So, got to give Alex Jones credit for that one. Got to give him credit. And it's exploding all over the internet now. Jade Helm 15. That's something big, and I'm surprised a lot of white nationalists haven't jumped on board with this one. You guys need to take a look at this and see what's going on, because life is going to change very shortly here, and it's going to get nasty.